Hi, I'm Lorraine. Welcome to your myofascial release class for the thoracic spine. Today we're just going to try to mobilize the area of the upper middle back or the thoracic spine. We will need a few different tools. So if you do have them, 2 tennis balls or 2 myofascial release balls. If you have a roller, a foam roller, that is going to be an option. I'm going to probably use a foam roller, but if you don't have the foam roller, a block is wonderful. And so that's what you'll need. If you don't have it yet, feel free to hit pause, come back and meet us when you have it. And we're going to actually just start without any props. We're just going to come to a comfortable seated position. You could also do this standing or even on the knees if you'd like, but I'm just going to do it in a comfortable seat. And we're just going to bring the hands, reach them up and overhead, interlace the fingers, and bring the hands behind the head. Let the elbows come out wide. Then find your degree. Let that head just drop into the hands and take a couple moments just to notice that upper middle back. Maybe take a few breaths. Maybe notice the tension that you feel as the arms lift and open out. And again, it's just going to be very simple movement to try to mobilize this area and wake it up a little bit before we get into our MFR. So keeping the hands as they are, interlaced behind the head, elbows wide, we're just going to turn over towards the right. So find your degree, find your edge or your last spot to go to towards the right. Doesn't have to be completely far. In fact, I didn't move too much. Take an inhale. Come back to center. We'll switch sides, so we're coming over towards the left. I just want you to maybe even notice how different one side is from the other. Maybe you went a little further on one side. And not trying to change that, not trying to force or jam yourself into any place, just noticing, just being aware. If you want to switch the cross of the legs, you can. Mine was getting a little uncomfortable there, so breathe in. Breathe out. We're going to pick up the pace here. So come back through center, and I just want you to start to rotate right to left. And again, I want you to find your pace, your rhythm. Again, going as far as you can to the right and to the left, but not trying to give yourself any whiplash or anything like that. Just moving gently and waking up the muscles in that upper middle back region. Last 5 for 4, 3, 2, last one. Come back towards center. Let's drop the hands by the side. Reach the arms up on the inhale. Hands to the heart space as you breathe out. Bring the hands down to the knees. Just take a couple moments just to notice that upper middle back. Notice any sensations that are happening from that movement you just did. Maybe you can feel your breath a little bit fuller in that area. Big breath in. Huge breath out. Blink the eyes open if not already. This is where you're going to choose to either use that block or the foam roller. So if you're going to use a block, go ahead and find that on your mat. We're going to use it under our pecs and our lats. So it's going to be at that middle height likely, and then we're going to bend through the knees. My knees are bent over towards the left, and we're going to bring that block underneath the armpit here. And so it should feel like one ledge of the block is on that, towards that pec, towards that breast tissue if you have breast. And then the top part's the top part of that arm. You're going to bend through that right elbow and support your head with your hand. If you're going to use the block, again, stay there with it. If you'd like to use a foam roller, again, just a different surface, a little bit more, a little round to go with that curvature of the armpit. So sometimes for some people, not as intense. So I think I'm going to stick with this foam roller here. If you have the block, no problem. Bring that left hand in front of you, and we're going to just start to lean forward. In fact, if you do have a longer foam roller, maybe you just scoot it back a little bit so that you can lean over and let the head drop. Stay here a couple breaths. And you're probably like, Lorraine, I thought we were touching the upper middle back. Well, we are touching the areas that impact or have some impact on the upper middle back as well. So if you're with me, go ahead and start to roll your way back towards the lats. And just feel what that feels like. I mean, usually my lats are pretty tight, so I don't feel too much for myself today. But just start to rock forward and then rock back again. Maybe you find something else when you move back there. So again, we're just touching into maybe some trigger points that might impact that thoracic spine. Although it's not direct, some of these indirect muscles might definitely be impacting that area as well. So we'll touch not only indirect, but also some direct techniques and tools in that space. Keep rocking forward and back for 3, for 2. Last one, we're going to rock all the way back. And then if you want, bring that hand to that hip, lean back, and stay there. Really let that head drop into the hand. If you need to make any adjustments on the block or the foam roller, you can. Maybe up, maybe down. Stay here for 5, for 4, 3, 2. Take one more big breath in. Exhale. Slowly bring that left hand back down to the earth. We're just going to switch sides. So we're going to come on to that opposite side that you took. Again, if you use the block, find a block. If you use the foam roller, go ahead and find the foam roller. We'll just switch sides. Again, finding yourself in a position that feels comfortable for you. You don't want any sharp pains, although you might find a place that is tender here. Definitely a spot where you can find tender muscles. Again, if you're on the foam roller, come to the edge of it, lean back first, and then just start to lean forward, coming to that pectoral muscle on the front side of your chest. And then just stay there, breathe here. Never want any sharp pains. No shooting pains. Definitely don't ever want to be on bones or nerves. So if you need to adjust, adjust. Take your last couple breaths, leaning into the pecs. Massive inhale. Exhale here. Slowly press into the hand, start to lean back towards the back of your tool, whether that's a block or that myofascial, that foam roller. Keep breathing. Again, we're just leaning back. We're going to find the movement in a little bit. When you're ready to start to lean forward and then lean back, we're really aiming to touch or cross fiber the tissues of the lats back there. I find that my lats definitely impact my thoracic mobility or my upper middle back mobility. Last couple breaths. Rocking forward and back. Only when you're ready to start to rock your way all the way back. If you need to adjust on the foam roller, you can, or the block. And then again, I'm going to bring my right hand to my right hip up. I'm going to let that head drop into the hand a little bit more. Last couple breaths. Take an inhale. Huge exhale. Slow as you need, rock your way forward, plant that right hand, And just press your way up to a comfortable seated position again. Just take a couple moments just to notice how that feels. Maybe let the eyes close. We're going to come back to the movement that we started with. So go ahead and reach the arms up towards the sky, interlace the fingers, bring the hands behind the head, elbows wide. And we're just going to jump right into that movement of left to right or right to left. And see if you feel like you have any more space after that myofascial technique. I definitely feel like my movement's a little more fluid. Maybe that's the same for you. Maybe you feel like you go a little bit further in each direction. Maybe you feel like the movement is actually happening even lower and not just your upper middle back, so that your whole spine is adding to the movement. Last two. Last one, come back to center. Bring the hands down by the sides or on the knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. So again, that was an indirect touch to the upper middle back. We'll move, if you did have a foam roller, off to the side. We're going to grab those myofascial balls, and now we're going to touch into the space of the upper back first, and we'll do two techniques here. So we're going to start up in the traps, and for most of us, the traps are always a place that hold tension. So if you want to grab it with lobster claw here, we're going to be in that big area at the traps. We'll do both, and then we'll move our way down again to that upper middle back, really to the inside or off of the edge of the spine of the scapula. So if you want to palpate, you can find the spine of the scapula where you fall off. We're going to be inside there. So that's going to be the second one we come to. And if you have that block handy, go ahead and bring it nearby. We're going to start with those traps there. So we'll start high and work our way again down into that upper middle back. So if you're with me, go ahead and place those balls into the traps. Again, they should be peering out or just above. So if someone was looking at you from the top, they should be able to see those balls peering out. Take a breath in. Most of us tend to not feel anything here with the hips low, so we're going to add the hips in. You can slide the block underneath your hips at any height that feels best for you. I think I'm going to go to the middle height today. And right away, oh man, traps definitely hold that tension for most of us here. So just take a couple breaths. In fact, if you want a little bit more, maybe reach the arms up towards the sky, you could stay here. If you want a little bit more than that, maybe reach the arms up and overhead. We're not going to be here extremely long, so maybe about 60 seconds. Just take a couple breaths just to stay. Just feeling those balls drop into that space, into that muscle. Using your breath. Last 30 seconds. If you need to adjust the arms on these last few rounds of breath, you can. Wherever you are, taking a huge inhale. Bottom belly exhale. Press through the feet to lift or bring the hands down first. Lift the hips, slide that block away from the lower back, lower the hips. And then remove the balls one at a time. Just take a couple moments just to notice the back body against the mat. Maybe notice how the scapula or the back body feels. Does it feel close? Does it feel like there's a little space between there? And then holding on to both balls in one hand, I'm going to have you grab with your right hand, reach over and find the spine of the scapula. It's this bony prominence or bony piece that really protrudes. You should be able to feel it with the fingertips. Go ahead and come off of it, meaning going towards the spine and fall off of it. You should be able to press with a couple fingers or one finger and feel a little tender spot. That's where we're going to place the ball. So one at a time, go ahead and you could feel around again. Place that ball there. And then go ahead and set the second one up. Place the ball there. Oh, this is definitely a place that I need here. And likely what's impacting for me, my upper middle back. Although it all impacts it, right? Fascia's all connected. So you could stay here with the hips down low. If you wanted just a little bit more, if you felt like this was going to be helpful for you, you could slide the block probably on its lowest height and stay there. I'm actually going to slide off of my block and lower the hips back down so that I can lift the hands up towards the sky. And again, we're not going to be here super, super long. Actually, I'm going to have you stay still for about 30 seconds just to feel this in that back body. And then if you want a little bit of movement, here's the couple options. Option one is going to be to cross the arms in front of you. Oh, goodness. Bend the elbows as if you're giving yourself a nice little hug. And then open the arms out wide again. And then bring the opposite arm on top and cross again. Give yourself that hug. And then find that movement opening and closing the arms. Definitely a place that I needed to touch in today. Oh, goodness. Whew. Keep breathing. If you're moving, last 3. If you're still, last 2. Last 1. And then last little thing, reach the arms back up towards the sky. We're going to find circles in any direction. Mine are going out. Whew. And I'm just going to find this movement for 5. Beautiful for 4. Last 3. 2. Opposite direction. Find those circles for 5. So if you were going out, you're now circling in. If you wanted to try to lift the hips a little bit more, you can press into the feet, although you don't necessarily need it. More is not necessarily better in this type of practice. Last 2 and 1. Reach up, inhale. Bring the hands back down by the side body, maybe one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take a breath in. Big breath out. Remove one ball at a time. And then again, just lay flat here. You could extend the legs out longer, keep the knees bent. You decide. I just want you to take a couple moments to notice how the back body feels against your mat again. Maybe you feel a little flatter with the earth. Maybe a little sense of spaciousness in the space you just touched. A broadening even through the front of the body. That circulation, that hydration coming back into the space. Take a breath in. Breath out. Slow as you need. Make your way up back to a comfortable seated position. And we're going to do that movement one last time. I just want you to feel the effects of what you just did. So maybe just even notice or move the shoulders around. You feel a little bit more mobile through that upper middle back. And then reach the arms up towards the sky. Interlace the fingers. Bring the hands behind the head, elbows wide. Last time today, just for 5. Find movement through that upper middle back as you twist left, twist right at your own pace for 3. Maybe you feel a little bit more depth. Maybe you feel a little more mobile for 2. And 1. Come back to center. Press the head into the hands. Open the chest. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin, round through the back, squeeze the elbows together, get a little long. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, drop the hands by your knees. Let the eyes close, just take a breath in. Big breath out. I hope this practice leaves you feeling a little more open and mobile and spacious through the upper middle back. Thank you for showing up and sharing your energy with me.